All right. My name is Bella Global, right again with you, and just to share certain information with you. Okay, right. Still on Osce, and I just want to do like a quick wrap up on certain things we should avoid, some mistakes we should not make, with regards to our chart. Okay, and this is looking at assessment. And remember, in the previous videos, I talked about the charts that we use for assessment scenarios. The two charts we use are the News 2 chart, which is the National Early Warning Score chart, and the GCS chart, which is the Glasgow Coma Scale, and that's what we call the Neurological Observation chart. Now, the errors we cannot afford to make, that we must avoid by all means, that we need to start getting used to doing certain things from day one. Once you get your document, once you get your chart, please, the first thing you want to do is put in your date, your time, anywhere you need to put in your signature or your initials. Please, you don't want to miss that. That's the first thing you do when you get your charts. Right. So now, if we want to look at the chart in itself, the errors we don't want to make is using the wrong symbol for the wrong parameters. Okay, like I said earlier, most test centers have a sample of how they want the forms to be filled, and that sample tells you the symbol to use. So it gives you the symbol to use if you have to represent the temperature, represent the blood pressure or the pulse, whatever observation you've done, looking at your numbers. So whatever you want to represent on that chart, there's a certain way to go about it. Again, another thing I don't want us to make, any error I don't want us to make, is the error of wrongly charting. Okay, so let's assume the patient's pulse rate was 84 and there is a box of 81 to 90. If you represent your symbol in the box of 71 to 80, that's a fail. We should know these things. These are error we cannot afford to make. I know why I'm stressing on this is because we have seen candidates go for the exam, come back, and then only for them to see in their results, oh, this was what they did. So I try to encourage people, please take your time, look at your charts properly before you submit. Again, looking at the News 2 charts, the error you don't want to make is forgetting to add up your scores appropriately. We know that every observation represented in the News 2 chart gets a score. So if I were you, once you do your respiration, which is the upper part, you get a score, put it by the side on the same chart, on the extreme left corner. Note it there. When you get your SATs done, your oxygen saturation done, put the score there. If the patient is on oxygen, we know is an automatic 2. Put the score. If the patient is on air, it's a 0. Put the score. The blood pressure, once you get a reading, put the score. The temperature, your pulse rate, whatever you do, don't forget, put the score on your extreme left. At the end, when you're done, you add up all of those figures and then put your total where it's written news total. You need to put that in that box. I've once done a mock for someone and the person actually forgot. And when I asked, do you want me to stop your time? She went, yeah, you can stop the time. I knew why I was asking because I knew the person had not done the total. So please take your time, look at your charts. Coming down, looking at the areas where we need to write, you then need to write the frequency. The mode of observation or the frequency at which you would have to monitor your patient is written at the back, the flip side of your News 2 chart. So you have, if the patient scores is 0, you need to monitor 12 hourly. And that doesn't need an escalation because on your chart, there's a place where there's a yes or no escalation, Y or N. However, the other parameters at the flip side of the chart then begins to say if a patient scores 1, or thereabout, you have to monitor 4 to 6 hourly. If the patient scores 3 in a single parameter, you monitor 1 hourly. Now, all of this on the flip side of your news 2 chart is what determines how you will monitor your patient and if you are escalating or not. The answers in your news 2 chart are not far-fetched. They're not far from you. All you need to do is open your eyes, look at your document, flip it when you need to, look at it, talk from it when you have to. Some people are so used to doing things all by themselves. They want to speak all from their head. Please, that doesn't work. Okay? If you've done it appropriately and you've got the chart, please look in your chart, escalate, saying how you would monitor the patient, and what you have said should be in alignment to what you would put down. So you then look at your frequency of monitoring. If it's 1 hourly, you put the number down. If it's 4 hourly, you put it there. If it's continuously, you put 15 minutes. We use 15 minutes to represent continuously. Okay? Now, so we then have the news total score, and then we have the monitoring frequency, and the next thing is escalation Y/N. Are you escalating care? Y, if you have to. That's, you put represented by a Y, which is yes. Okay, and you put N if you are not escalating the care. Of course, the last part of your chart is the initials. You cannot afford to forget to fill in your initials. Okay,